Oh, hello. Yeah, so one thing that could happen to unite people behind whatever is going on in the world is to ensure that we have shared information. Because it's very hard to discuss something and to have a melting pot of ideas of how to solve issues if everyone has different information. Now, everyone will have different information. If you take an event like the fires in Los Angeles and reports are just bouncing over the timeline, so you go to a search engine, you look up one particular event, and you have things from 6 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 hours ago, 18 months ago. So basically, what happened 6 days ago is very different from what is happening 2 hours ago. And it's very difficult for people to be united behind what is going on and to discuss what ought to happen or a solution if people don't have the same information. The basis of communication is really important to actually, the basis of information is really important to actually know when something's going on. It's really a big context. And what you find is the journalist's mind is all about gathering all of the evidence in order to find the best story. And a lot of media today has become very superficial. A lot of people skim over things, look at them very much on the surface, and then form an opinion without enough information, or maybe just with fragments of information. And then they make an opinion and then they move on to the next thing. So really, like, people might repeat what they've heard, they might have particular voices that they like or people that they follow, and they might just repeat their opinions. But at the end of the day, the real proper journalism, it'd be where you'd gather all of the evidence together, all the little clues that are just mentioned in all different, like something from the Guardian, something from the Telegraph, something from the BBC, nothing like that, and you can gather together a story. And the media can easily attract by having a story like this, and then this story is about, why news is no longer news. The word news has the word new in it, and that means that it's new. So if every kind of news report we have is the latest story, so basically the news team have gathered together the who, what, when, where, why, then we'll be able to know what caused something, why it's happening. And yeah, so right, just heard something. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that also the ancients used to try and, I think, it's my theory, that painting on cave walls and things that were likely to get preserved, such as, for instance, it might have been an absolutely amazing, huge, great person that was being buildings built around them to say this person was absolutely great. They did absolutely amazing things. But sadly, the stories or the events and everything like that is lost in time. But maybe large celestial events have been recorded. But today's archaeologists and people like that, researchers, just can only work from the evidence they find, but also they might always interpret it just rather lazily as like ritual, just think that all that people did thousands of years ago was just a ritual this and a ceremony for that and a belief for this and a belief for that. That they were just full of beliefs and not actual knowledge or wisdom, or just wanting to record events and timestamp them. Like take Göbekli Tepe, for example, and the carvings of the animals on the stones. I mean, they could have been the symbols that they used for constellations. So the Greeks could have taken those from an older source, possibly. And the book by Dr. Martin Sweetman, Prehistory Decoded, is really good and might also suggest that potentially there was a big celestial event that kicked off the young dryas about 8,000 years ago, and that that could have been like an airburst or some other meteor or large rock or something getting into our solar system, into our sort of atmosphere and exploding, which could explain a sort of black rocks, the sort of level of that. I mean, that could be explained. But, we don't know for sure, but also people's perception of this is greatly influenced by religion and by events written down in books and other sources 2,000 years ago when really history began. And so we don't really know what happened before that. And it's quite okay, I think, for people to have different theories, as long as we remember that they are conjecture. But there are little bits of evidence, like the vernal equinox in Stonehenge, and when the moon and the sun both shine through. I mean, potentially. We don't know really what it was. I mean, it might have been a structure. It might have been the Millennium Dome of its time. Could even have been built temporarily to be taken down again, just for a event one particular year, to have marked a particular event that they knew was coming because of looking at the stars in the sky and working out that they thought there was going to be an alignment or something else. There's going to be an alignment quite soon, apparently, of lots of planets. So anyway, Göbekli Tepe have, from a certain time ago, maybe 11,000 years ago, it might also have been deliberately covered up. There might be other things up there that have been covered up. But the thing is, curiosity has got to be a good reason to look into things. And if we, at the end of the day, any event, if we have the same information by the latest first, and that each source gathers all the information it can and from different areas, and just provide videos and photographs of people to see, because never before have we had such a good access to, loaded via the internet, what is going on. What was that? Something came up, warning, not sure what that was. Anyway,